how's, from an identity standpoint, how do you think things are kind of moving in that direction of what you want to see from this team?
Yeah, still think we gotta be intentional about playing faster, and making sure we're taking the right shots. With playing faster comes, some sloppy play or trying to get the ball in the right person's hands, that kind of thing. So, learning through that, playing through that. Defensively, I thought we were better in the second game, even though we gave up more points. Our ball screen coverages still aren't where we need them to be, but for game 2, moving into our game with Purdue-Fort Wayne, just keep progressing and try to get better.
Does Ela remind you of any shooter that you've been around?
Just honestly, she reminds me of a lot of European kids that I played with over there, because she doesn't take bad shots. She's got deep range. She's a little slower getting it off, but that kind of plays to her benefit, that she can shot fake you and put the ball on the floor. Not super athletic, but just crafty enough to find a way to put the ball in the basket.
And I asked you last game about just her international, or just her experience in general, coming to the top. What are other examples of that you see where, okay, this is an experienced player that...
Yeah, there was a play at the end of the second quarter in our last game. We got an offensive rebound and wanted to take the last shot, and she was a little bit aggressive, and I think I called for a travel, and coming to the locker room before I even had to address it, that's on me, coach, that's my fault. Just little things like that where she understands time and score, stuff that you don't get unless you have real game experience, and she's put some minutes in. Yeah.
What do you see out of Purdue-Fort Wayne? They lost some players, but they've restocked a little bit.
Yeah, really good ball club, well coached. Maria does a great job with them. They play extremely hard. West Virginia got them the first game, and probably Purdue-Fort Wayne should have won that Xavier game. Missed some opportunities down the stretch, and a Big East team on the road. That they're probably feeling pretty confident about who they are. They're going back home. 1,800 people in that little packed gym. It's going to be loud, and it'll be our first environment, our first test on the road. So we're going to have to be ready to go. I think, they played us well last year. We got up by 20, only won by 10. So we're going to have to be ready to go. While they're a new team, I feel like we're pretty new too. So, as the game goes on, we'll probably be making adjustments, trying to figure each other out as the game goes on.
Just with any road game, especially being your first one, do you need, some veteran or leadership to kind of guide you through what you're going to face?
I think the one thing we can't do is we have to stop the crowd from getting into it, right? And what gets crowds going, made threes and ones, little things that can kind of really get the crowd going. We've got to make sure we don't get the crowd going. We traveled for our close scrimmage, but there was nobody in the gym, so a little different experience. They're going to be super jacked to play us. We've got to have a level head about who we are. You would hope that Ela and Mads really could bring a calmness to us. Now I don't know how some of the other ones are going to react because they're all new, but I know I feel good about having Madison out there, Kenna out there. I know I expect KP and Lana will be, I know how they'll respond to it. So when the ball goes up and the lights are on, we'll see which juices get flowing pretty quickly. 2
games, 2 different starting lineups.
Yeah.
What are you looking at?
Probably we'll start. If you ask me right now, we'll probably start the same way, but I'm not that we did last game. But I'm not totally sure just yet. We've had some kids really stack some good practices together, and we talk about the non-conference just being a time that we got to figure out what works best for us in time for conference games.
Any more minutes for Taylor tomorrow?
I hope so. I thought she was really solid. She responded well to practice. Let's see, Saturday practice was good. Yesterday practice was good. So hopefully body responds well, and we can just keep increasing her minutes, keep increasing KP and Kenna's as well.
Was the process, given that the roster is so different year to year, has the process gelled like you hoped it would through this point in the season?
It's been good because we've got good kids. Our group is, they're energetic about the game of basketball. They love the game. They love competing. They want to learn. They want to get better. They want to be great. And it's fun to come down every day in the gym and practice with them. The games are 2 wins. They haven't been pretty, but you walk in that locker room and they're talking about what they have to do to get better before we even come in, and I think that's a sign of a basketball team that's trying to figure it out together, and I really, really enjoy that.